The moment of tension that I decided to explore as a new idea occurs before Agnes Magnostadir arrives in Alugostadir. I delve into the inner thoughts of Sigga and how she is treated by Natan in perplexive ways upon Agnes's arrival. Sigga is perceived as this pretty, young, and innocent girl in society's eyes, and I thought it would be interesting to reveal how she really feels towards Natan and what life is like for her. I began my creative writing piece with pathetic fallacy to deliver Sigga's feelings towards the landscape and atmosphere that surrounds her. I aimed to illustrate Sigga's isolation in Alugostadir and how the sensory description of the weather conveys this mood of loneliness. I then described the youth of Sigga to ensure that readers could clearly acknowledge that I wasn't characterizing Agnes. Footsteps are a motif throughout the prologue, and I believed it would be effective to use this motif in a different context to foreshadow that Agnes is going to arrive in Alugostadir at any point. In the next paragraph, I struggled to describe how small the space of the Badstafer was. I decided to use a juxtaposition of being cozy contrasting with unsettlement to convey the impact Natan placed on Sigga as a womanizer and how this made her feel unsafe upon his arrival. I used Icelandic dialogue as an allusion to mirror Kent's writing style in order to restate to the audience that the novel is set in the early 19th century. I reference the old Icelandic book as a saga of dreams, which highlights the perceptions and belief system that Natan forces upon Sigga, as she knows no better. When Sigga describes Natan passing her the saga as a sadistic exchange for my body, this illuminates the foreshadowing of Sigga being affected by adultery. Sigga says that she does not know how to read, and this contributes to the reader's understanding of Agnes perceiving her as dumb. I use the motif of footsteps to further indicate and foreshadow that Agnes is coming closer and closer, but Sigga is unaware at this point of who or what the terrifying footsteps are coming from. I then use truncated sentences to highlight that men such as Natan have power and authority over women in this novel, and create this sense of fear and unease. Rather than telling the audience that Sigga is being raped, I thought it would be effective to use a metaphor to show and not tell. This metaphor creates the moment of tension and emphasizes that the innocence Sigga once had has been taken away from her. This, followed by the questioning of, is this the consequence of being a young and pretty girl, underlines the fact that Sigga knows no better and relies on society's perceptions of herself to make a decision. This idea of being young and pretty is inspired by Agnes's quote, "But Sigga is dumb and pretty and young," in order for the audience to sympathize with Sigga and understand how it is not her fault she has been raped by Natan. The exaggeration in Sigga's dialogue allows readers to understand the fear and distress Sigga undergoes and how they can sympathize and almost feel how she is feeling in this moment of tension. I struggled to express that once Natan was done with her, he did not think twice about what he had done. So I directly quoted, "My body sprawling onto the floorboards naked," to visually show readers Sigga's inferiority. To accentuate Sigga's agitation after the circumstance, the use of rhetorical questions show that she doesn't know how to escape from the situation and is metaphorically suffocating. In the final paragraph, I personified the motif of footsteps to Agnes's identity to indicate that whether Sigga likes it or not, danger is coming. The use of truncated sentences also creates tension and epitomizes what and who awaits Sigga. I intentionally finish my piece with the questioning of a girl on behalf of Sigga to symbolize that Agnes has arrived. Overall, I aim to draw parallels between my writing and Hannah Kent's writing style by mimicking her use of sensory description and concept of showing and not telling. I found it very interesting as it allowed me to gain insight into the thoughts and perceptions of characters I had not seen before. Thank you.